Hey guys, Mono here. You might have noticed a lack of video uploads on the channel. Well, I've been away on vacation for a month, but I'm finally back and I thought I'd get started talking about a brand new game that will be coming out very soon on February 15th. This is Operation Harsh Doorstop, an extremely ambitious free-to-play tactical shooter which aims to be the next Squad or the next Arma while focusing on a no BS approach to gaming, so no microtransactions, no loot boxes of any kind, and no paid DLC. This is a passion project from Drakeling Labs, a game studio which was founded by YouTuber Blue Drake. Now, Blue Drake mostly covers tactical shooters in his channel, so he obviously has a lot of experience in these types of games. So it's very cool to see this project being developed by actual fans of the genre with such a simple, old-school approach to the whole thing. If you go to the Steam store page for this, actually it straight up says, "I got sick of games with loot boxes and predatory monetization with no single player missions or mod support, so our community started making this game instead. A shooter sandbox with all the features a game should have. Oh, and we're funding it on Patreon and giving it away for free. So all the money for the game's development is coming completely from voluntary donations on Patreon, with anyone, regardless of being a patron or not, being able to download and play the game for free. This is, as I said previously, extremely ambitious, and I say this not only based on its business model, but also due to the fact that it's straight out of the gate going for multiple different scenarios like World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Cold War, modern era, and maybe more, I don't know. So I guess the question is this actually any good and should you be excited for this? Well, let me give you my first impressions based on a playtest that was carried out last Friday. So first thing I will say is this is rough. It's clearly on its early days of development with a few years to go until it is at the level where it can really go against other games like Hell Let Loose or Arma or Squad. I don't think anyone's going to play this game and go like, whatever, after this, I'm never going back to that other game I've been playing, you know? It's still not there. That's not to say it is bad. It's actually quite fun. I did find it very enjoyable, but it is clearly an early access launch with all that entails. Graphics from indoor environments specifically, as well as animations, are very bare bones. Trees, trenches, and some other areas had a decent amount of detail and visual fidelity, but indoor areas were very reminiscent of games from the early 2000s. Very empty, extremely basic geometry and levels of detail. Functional enough, but not polished at all. Now, I think in Squad and Postscriptum, the level of interiors is obviously not very good. It's comparable to this, I'd say. But, you know, that's an older game. This is a much newer game being developed in 2023. So this is an area where I would expect more. I think part of the goal of this game is to have mod support quickly accelerate the production of at least some aspects of it, like assets, maps, weapon variety, animations, and so on. But right now, this is the current situation of the game. Audio design is surprisingly good. I was actually extremely impressed with the accuracy of footsteps, being able to track enemy movement quite easily, which is a huge deal in games like these, and I was equally pleased with the crack of gunfire, the sound of distant shots, the effects of a suppressor, and so on. It reminded me of games like Squad, which are known for their amazing audio design, so that part of the game is definitely off to a great start. Take a listen, though with headphones the experience is completely different and it does not sound like it sounds in the video. Weapon handling and gunplay felt very similar to basically any of the games that I've mentioned, but there is a massive amount of bullet drop. At least it was extremely noticeable on the silent sniper that I used for most of the playtest. It felt like I was playing on Jupiter or something, with bullets falling about half a body length at like 200 meters or something, which just doesn't seem right. Again, though, I have to assume all of this is tweakable and even customizable, so it's hard to judge these things too harshly. Player movement is a bit stiff, definitely more of an emphasis on deliberate slow movement and not having players jumping around and vaulting over things like in Battlefield. There's a basic stamina system also, which is pretty generous, at least more so than in games like Postscriptum or Squad, but does mean you have to slow down a bit to account for it when you want to sprint a long distance and stuff like that. I didn't notice any impact on gunplay from the stamina drain, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that implemented on some point. Maybe it already is and I just didn't notice it. Teams are divided into squads that have a set amount of available classes, which unlock based on the size of the squad. And you can find the usual roles like rifleman, medic, sharpshooter, machine gunner, and so on. All players have access to a few bandages to patch out your health after receiving a non-lethal shot, which is par for the course in this genre of gaming. The game is aiming to have 100 players per server, which I think is starting to be the standard for games of this scope, but the playtest, I believe, was carried out with 64 players only. One thing that really stood out to me during the playtest was the complete lack of voice comms from other players. While this is a feature that the game actually has, nobody was using the comms at all, so I don't know if that means that this game is attracting maybe a little bit of a more casual crowd or what, but at least from when I played it, nobody really seemed to use it. The game is aiming to add features like character and weapon customization, but those are currently not in the game as of now. They will be in the future. Alright, unfortunately, I'm missing the footage from the World War I game that we played, so I'll be showing the Vietnam, World War II, and modern setting only, with maybe some footage from World War I bots right now in the video to just show you what it looks like. But I think this is definitely a game that you want to keep your eyes on if you're into this type of game. It's very cool to see an honest approach to a video game these days, where the focus is on providing a great game, and it's being developed by people with a great love and appreciation for the genre and eager to provide the community with the tools that they need to make the game their own. This seems to be very much a community-oriented project, and I can definitely get behind that. Once again, this is coming out February 15th for free, but you can gain access right now by downloading the single-player demo that's available on Steam. If you want to support the game, however, and maybe get into a playtest before the game is actually out in a few days, head over to their Discord or Patreon, where you will find all the information that you need. I will link to that down below in the video description, and I will leave you guys with some gameplay. Now, I signed on to the Patreon because that was like the fastest way I could get into the playtest without having to ask for a key or anything. So I'm just putting that out there. I don't really have a horse in this race, however. I'm not like a hardcore supporter of this game or anything, and I'm probably gonna cancel my Patreon if I can just, play the game for free. So yeah, let me know what you think of this, if you've tried it out, if you think this game is heading in the right way, or if you're confident or not in this project. And if you enjoy this type of video, as always, leave a like and subscribe for more. It really helps a ton. Thank you for watching as always, and I hope I will catch you in the next one. Oh, wow, okay. All right. Oh, come on. I hope I killed him.